位後少少啊。
喺嗰度，
好似
邊個人啊？得發光喎！
喂，係喎，喂，我哋跟佢睇下。
Hello, everyone. Camera sometimes captures things the naked eye misses. Not everything can be explained right away. And it's moments like these that remind us nature still holds mysteries beyond human understanding. So if you're just as curious, make sure to like and subscribe to get started. A moment may last only a second, yet still make viewers pause and feel that some things in life are incredibly difficult to explain.
啲位後少少啊。
喺嗰度，邊個人啊？得發光喎！
喂，係喎。
When something has no obvious explanation, our imagination automatically fills the gap with fascinating theories. People love mysterious explanations until they discover the real culprit was simply a tiny detail the camera failed to capture. Videos like these remind us to consider different perspectives before drawing conclusions about phenomena we do not fully understand. After an earthquake, changing atmospheric conditions may cause light to pass through clouds, creating unusual shapes that the human eye easily misinterprets. This phenomenon went viral not because it was rare, but because it captured people's imagination before logic had time to respond. Just inches from the edge, the American racer was stopped by the final barrier, a moment when luck was clearly on his side. You do not have to say anything. Just cross without looking, and that car will make the decision for you. What job did you have when you were younger? Share your story in the comments below. As wildfires devastated southern France. One setback was captured on camera, but behind it, hundreds of people were still fighting to keep everything from collapsing. As the flames moved closer, they had no choice but to release the horses, placing their survival entirely in the hands of instinct. That is the paradox of rescue work. The better they perform their duty, the greater the risks they must accept themselves. The Chinook was lowering a massive structure when something went wrong. Strong winds and powerful downdrafts caused the helicopter to lose control and collide within seconds. It looks simple, but something is clearly wrong. Where do you think the problem is? You do not have to win every argument, especially when you are talking to a completely different system of logic.
अरे बड़ा सीधा सा जानवर है।
Not everyone understands how to communicate with a lion, and in that world, a misunderstanding may leave no chance for correction. Here, livestock roam freely, as if it were completely normal, and when something happens, nobody seems willing to take responsibility. If this video was worth your time today, we would truly appreciate your support. Summer is almost over and she still has not figured out how to use it. Some moments look like magic until you take a closer look and realize everything is still following the rules of nature. The waterfall no longer follows gravity because powerful winds redirect the water, sending it upward like a ribbon floating through the air. When an image matches something we already imagine, the brain favors the familiar theory over the scientific explanation. A thick layer of clouds hides the lower section, making the building appear to vanish, even though everything remains completely normal.
I wasn't sure if this was an issue, so I thought it'd be kind to ask. What do you think? Should I alert the local authorities?
At first glance, it looks like the sky is raining spiders, but these little guys are actually taking teamwork to another level, a floating construction project designed by nature. Are phenomena like this common in your area, or have they only started appearing recently? In the middle of the violent tornado, the truck was lifted into the air, showing that nature's power sometimes leaves no time to react. People always believe they are prepared for every possible situation, but nature never signed that agreement. A man charged into the massive waves at Seabright Beach when the ocean was at its most violent, just to bring another person back to safety. Knowing how to respond during an earthquake can keep you from freezing during the most critical seconds. Not everyone understands the concept of personal space, especially when the other party happens to be a lion. How would you react if two machines built like tanks were charging straight toward you? Is this the kind of video you enjoy watching from the comfort of a quiet living room? Bulky cargo shifts the vehicle's center of gravity, making every steering adjustment much harder to predict. One overly confident lane change can turn an entire road into a domino effect where nobody has enough time to react. When visibility is limited, you lose control of the biggest variable oncoming traffic, causing the risk to increase dramatically. Seeing a train and still trying to cross is no longer confidence. It is stupidity mixed with gambling, and luck usually takes the train side. It looks like the sky has been split in two, but it is really just nature showing off physics with impressive precision. This condition closely resembles cleidocranial dysplasia, a rare genetic disorder in which the collarbones develop only partially or fail to form entirely. Do you see this as art or a level of imagination that most people could never reach? What makes these designs interesting is that they do more than entertain. They also exploit how the brain processes information and how easily it can be fooled. If you think this content is worth watching, your support is what keeps us searching for even more incredible videos. On mountain roads, landslides often happen without warning because the natural structure of the terrain constantly changes with weather and geological conditions. It sounds like a cinematic effect, but this is simply how nature unleashes its energy. Fast, powerful, and without giving anyone time to think. A 15-story building in Texas vanished within seconds when a controlled demolition turned the massive concrete structure into a neatly contained pile of debris. Instead of collapsing randomly, the explosions are triggered in sequence, allowing the entire structure to fall safely within a controlled area. This was more than just an explosion at Cavell Ridge. It showed how humans can control enormous energy to move 4.7 million cubic meters of rock and soil within seconds. This moment looks like a real-life sandwich with two collisions happening almost simultaneously and leaving absolutely no time to react.
Oh my goodness.
Docking may sound simple, but sometimes one tiny miscalculation is enough to turn the destination into a completely different story.
Gosh, the ferry just crashed into Ocean Beauty.
Oh! Holy moly.
It may sound unbelievable, but during its lifetime, a seagull can accumulate nearly 5 million miles of flight. It is supposed to be a trip at sea, but this looks more like entering a new city completely governed by pigeons. Millions of wildebeest, Undertake one of the planet's most demanding migrations where every step balances survival against constant danger. From above, the movement of the sheep creates gentle waves, making the ground appear to breathe with every rhythm. The journey home suddenly became unforgettable when a massive pod of dolphins appeared, making the entire ocean seem alive. This phenomenon is called a pilot's glory. It occurs when light scatters backward through tiny water droplets, creating a halo around the aircraft.
That's a good question, brother. Look at this. What's going on?
Do you find videos like these most enjoyable when you can sit back, relax, and watch them comfortably?
Go walk down to where Daddy is.
The Ames room uses distorted geometry, causing your brain to misjudge distance and size when viewed from one specific angle.
Look at that car! I think the police officer just did.
Tornadoes can form extremely quickly and are difficult to predict. Have you ever learned how to recognize the early warning signs?
Damage. Look at this semi-splint.
Even through a screen, you can still feel the tornado's energy, as though it does not need to be nearby to make an impression. No editing was necessary because the lightning had already signed the photograph in an unforgettable way. When clouds accumulate electrical charge, they need to release that energy, and lightning is the fastest way to do it. A car was traveling normally through the streets of Seoul until the road suddenly opened and swallowed it within seconds. Do you think the vehicle's weight caused this, or was the road's construction quality responsible? When animals feel threatened or disturbed, they immediately enter defensive mode, and their reactions can be extremely fast. It looks like an underwater speed race, and that is a swordfish, one of the fastest fish in the ocean. You do not always need to confront a threat. Sometimes retreating at the right moment is the smartest response. People often talk about having a physical advantage, and this example needs absolutely no further explanation. Can you find her real facial features hidden in this image? Understanding how light reflects helps explain why optical illusions like this can occur so easily. Content like this demonstrates how easily human vision can be deceived by shapes and movement. They claim Bigfoot appeared beside the lake, but do you believe what you see, or is there another explanation? An object above Belo Monte looked remarkably similar to SpaceX's Starship, convincing many people that it could not be merely a coincidence. The dogs seemed to sense the impact before it actually happened, as though they were always one step ahead of everything. A small show of support from you could help this information reach more people and perhaps help someone avoid a dangerous situation in time. It may look surprising, but he has already seen this movie 100 times. If you are watching comfortably from home tonight, we would love to hear about it. The women's softball game in Lynchburg was postponed when a dust devil suddenly appeared for about 30 seconds, forcing players to cover their faces for safety.
Move,